Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brun and today I'm going on an adventure. Currently driving up a very steep dirt road on top of a hill to do some metal detecting at a ruin. This ruin doesn't have a lot of history on it, so it's going to be quite interesting to see what is unearthed in the ground, if anything. We are hoping that there is going to be something. So we'll take you up this hill with us for a little way and then we'll have to walk as well, further up a bit of a mound, a bit of a mountain. So it's a ruin on the highest point of this hill. As you can see, today's a little bit overcast and cloudy, which is kind of good. It means we are not going to get too hot. However, we might get a sprinkle of rain and get a little bit wet, but that's okay. Now we're going down a section that is a bit downhill and then it climbs up again. This is all farmland, so it's just a wonderful region, and the first settlers arrived here in the early mid 1800s. So come along, hope you enjoy this video and let's see what we unearth. Well, here I am, have arrived down this bit of a rough dirt road. Now this road, I would assume, possibly was the original road that led to this old ruin. We are actually on top of a range, so this is the view. Terribly sorry that it's a cloudy day, but it has a beauty of its own, even on the cloudiest of days. There's a group of trees over there. The ruin is down in that section, and up on that peak of the hill there is another ruin. Have not been up there as yet, and we'll try and cram that one in as well, even if it is for a look-see. I've got Jay detecting with me today. She's just parked the car while I got out and did some filming. There's an old cottage over there, which is a bit of a place where you can stay, and this is an old cattle yard and sheep yard. There's some bales, round bales of fodder over there, some straw for the animals, and look at that spectacular scenery. I'm not sure if you're seeing it as beautifully as I am, but it is absolutely wonderful. There's some rain in those clouds, like I said earlier, and even that dead tree is just glorious. There's a nice big large dam there with some ducks in it. What a great place for them to hang out at. And look, it's the view is as far as the eye can see. It's just miles and miles of beauty. So let's get stuck into it. I'll walk back to the car and get kitted up and show you what we do next. So that is a little old cottage that obviously shearers and some workmen can stay in when they're here for the shearing season. Now you might think, look Brun, how did you find this place? Well, I do a lot of history research, and some of the markers and things that I look for are obviously giant trees, and some of these old posts. They're often a giveaway in the sense that they were probably put here, you know, a very, very long time ago. And those sorts of posts like this, fencing posts, obviously there's newer versions and modern extensions and updates on the fencing. But these sorts of markers are a great source of information for history sites and old ruins and places like that. I don't see too many more, but I do look out for them wherever there are fence lines, and I often like to follow them because they are the markers where the old colonists perhaps would have followed along and laid out their paddocks and homesteads. So let's get stuck into it, put on our safety gear. Okay, so the first thing we've got to think about is obviously this is snake country. Even though it's not a hot sunny day, the snakes are out there. So the first thing that goes on are the gaiters. Both myself and Jay definitely wear these. We have nice leather boots on as well, which have been polished for today. It's a special occasion. Plus I was at the beach the other day, so the boots needed a polish just to keep the sand and salt water off them.
Well, you seem to be just filming my boots all the time, so I thought I'd better clean them.
Yeah, Jay's boots are on the video quite often, so it's time to clean them. And old habits die hard when you've been in a job where you've got to polish your shoes all the time. So let's just keep that going. All right, so the snake gaiters, priority. This is brown snake country, very venomous. And yes, we're going to be walking amongst rocks and grass. Some of the grass is stubble, which, you know, obviously things can be slithering in and amongst all that. And these private permissions are also at your own risk. So I think it's just a good idea to protect yourself. It shows the landowner, the farmer, that you are a serious detecting person. You're not going to be a risk to them. You're not going to be needing any assistance for, medical assistance or, ambulances, helicopters and all that. It's very hard to access some of these locations. So important to take all the precautions and not utilise the services that our emergency services provide by being sensible. So let's get them on. We've got some fly spray we'll put on as well. That's in the back here, just to keep a few of the flies off our face. And, we call that the signature scent. Nobody wears perfume when they're metal detecting. Fly spray is the way to go. Let me pick you up a bit. And, yeah.
Yeah, do your back.
Do the back. You always need help getting the fly spray on. These flies can be pesty up here. We have the detectors, the Mighty Manticore on the left. Excellent machine, and the Equinox 900 on the right. I also have brought along my Equinox 800 with a small coil, because I don't have a small coil for the Manticore yet. Now the headset, some buckets, some hand digging tools, knives, water container with a pump. It just makes things easier. We've got drink bottles, we've got some lunch, buckets and things, just in case we find some old steel items that the historic aspect can be logged and looked at and kept, and it's easier to carry it all. So that's us. So we've even got a fire extinguisher. We are in the Australian dry summer season at the moment, so we've got our hats on. Jay wears this wonderful vest, which I have recently ordered a couple online, which is kind of like a fisherman's vest. That gives her an opportunity to have a lot of things. What have you got there? You've got your pinpointer.
Pinpointer in there. I've got a scoop in here, and like a metal digger that I use.
Metal
for popping coins out.
Coin popper type thing. And you've got your gloves, obviously. What is that? That's a magnifying.
That's just a magnifier, just to see if we can find, when we find coins and things we can't quite see, it just magnifies it.
Just gives you a little bit of better vision.
Yeah.
I wear glasses, so I tend to carry a set of glasses hanging around my neck. So look, we're going to go through this gate. It's unlocked for us, and we're going to head down towards that clump of trees and go and have a look at the first ruin. So come along. Very exciting. So let's go. Let's just take in this view one more time. Look, I'm so glad you're all here watching my channel, Brun Free, and I am so excited. Out over in the distance is the ocean. How incredible is this location? I'm actually thinking of asking the farmer if I can camp out here in that little cabin. Saves driving up every day. This is gonna be epic. Just one other thing, I don't know if you can see that white piece of paper that's in the dashboard of the vehicle. So what I do when I'm on these isolated permissions is I write on a piece of paper where I am on the property. In this situation, it's I am at the ruin. The landowner knows it's a ruin, I have permission, and I also wrote on the piece of paper that I have permission and the name of the actual person within the landowner family that gave me the permission, and then I write my name, etc. Now the reason I do this is one of a couple of things. I don't want the farmer to see a car out here and not know who it is, and then have to call the authorities to say that there's a vehicle that might be a stolen vehicle. So it isn't a stolen vehicle, it's our vehicle, my vehicle, and I do not want the landowner thinking it's a neglected, deserted, stolen vehicle. And the other thing is too, if there was an emergency, I can use the car and the information that I've left on that piece of paper for assistance in any particular way. So these are just precautions that I like to take in a location as isolated as this. So let's get going. Now we've walked a little bit of a way. We're down into the section that's been fenced off, which is a gully. There's some kangaroos over there. I can kind of tell that, look, the early settlers would have come here because there would have been a water source. The grass is fairly low, the sheep have grazed that down, although there is no livestock in the paddock at the moment. So right down the bottom here, it would have been a water source, bit of a nice place to settle, lovely view. Look at that, just gorgeous. The kangaroos are looking at us, not too sure about what we're doing here. I don't know if you can see them, they're pretty big and they're a fair distance. Oh, one just moved, so there it is over there, hopping away. Second one. Yeah, they're beautiful creatures and very fortunate to be able to see them. There's the top of the ruin. Jay, can you see that down there? We're heading on the downhill section now, so we can catch our breath a little bit. Right there. Now this is the moments I live for. They're just absolutely incredible. I mean, just imagine living in a stone home on the side of a hill like this, with that view, farming your own land, living your best life back in the 1800s, 1900s. Australia was only settled just over 200 years ago, so all of this history is just phenomenal. We are walking carefully just in case there's little slithery things, you never know. And they would have had access to water, they would have had access to the ocean not far away for fishing, and the things that they would have grown around here, whether it be wheat or sheep or wool, wool and things like that. They could have popped it onto a sail ship and sent it back to England, and this is why they settled in this area and had a lot of prosperity in that time. So I'm just going to stop. Yeah, the ocean's over in the distance. You can see that, can't you, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, what an amazing view. Even that gully's pretty. I'd like to go for a hike through there one day. But look, let's just stop and just take all this in. This is a historian's dream come true. Cannot believe that I'm actually standing here. This is just wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. There's a road down there and I've just spotted a whole bunch of joggers. They must be training for the upcoming football season or something like that. Doing some jogging, who knows, or maybe they're holiday makers just doing a bit of a jog and a hike around the area. But let's go back and keep walking, take all this in. I am so pumped for this one. What about you, Jay?
Oh yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah? What are you hoping to find?
Oh, any sort of relics.
Relics, yeah.
Oh, there's a kangaroo near that.
Oh, did I get it? Did I miss it?
It's on the left hand side behind that tree there.
I can just see the ears popped past.
Yeah, he'll move, he's watching us.
He's watching?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll lift up the camera. I've got a tripod. Yeah, it's probably sleeping amongst the rockery there.
Yeah.
Now we're going to have a bit of a look around the rocks first before we go starting to swing, just to make a bit of noise and clear away any potential snakes or anything like that. We have got our
dam there.
Yeah, oh, there's a bit of a dam that would have had a bit of a water source there. It's dry at the moment because haven't had that much rain up here recently, so it dries up and evaporates fairly quickly. Wow.
There's some rocks here.
Oh, I wonder if that might have been the rubbish pit. It's a bit of a raised mound too. Sometimes they had rocks where they buried all their rubbish down. But let's just have a real good look around. Oh, there's the kangaroo standing there. There they go. Oh, we're disturbing them all and off they go. They're probably a little bit annoyed, kind of thinking, this is our place, what are you doing here? Does that look a pear tree in the distance? An old pear tree right there?
Could be.
Looks like it. Definitely. All right, let's have a good old look. Make a bit of noise. Shoo the critters away. This is magnificent, and I am just absolutely,
the old chimney's still intact.
Absolutely
Go down that
excited. Wow. Deep down inside me, I'm kind of going, woohoo, woo, pumped. So let's just, oh, that'd be rabbits. That's, oh, they've turned a rock over. Oh yeah, well there you go. Somebody's been having a bit of a look-see. The farmer did say that sometimes he comes up and swings his own detector, so I'm not surprised, but depending on your level of skill and the type of detector you're using, can unearth lots of other types of things. Oh, look at that. Look at that chimney. That piece of wood that was carved over the top. Oh my gosh. What a beautiful thing. And look at the view they would have had from the window. Magnificent. And the view from the door. Just fantastic. Right, let's get our gear together and start swinging. Oh, I've come down to this, what would have been the well that holds the water. You can hear the frog. Still frogs in there. And this tree that I thought was a pear tree looks like it's actually an almond tree, because there's some almond husks in and around on the ground. So the birds would have liked that. So an almond tree instead of a pear tree. There we go. That's the chimney. Just glorious. So there you go. Look at that beautiful stonework. All done by hand, no doubt. Jay has started detecting already. She's very keen. And I have been walking around just having a bit of a look and taking it all in. So let's start. Just amazing. Look at that. Just looks like local stone to me. I often wonder if some of the early settlers may have hidden things inside these rocks. They often used to put something inside the rock walls for good luck or safekeeping. Yeah. So I'm assuming if this was the entrance, perhaps the main access would have been from down that section, and they may have come uphill that way. So yeah, we'll have to detect down there as well. Here we go. My first find for today. We have got a fairly deep hole. Got a whole bunch of like pottery. Taken my gloves off. I probably should put them back on. I've got the gloves back on. Okay, so the first find, a bit of pottery. Bit of really nice pottery. There are a couple of nice pieces here. So that is a very interesting colour. I'll have to clean that up and see if it's got any markings. Can't see anything at the moment. But yeah, this might be the rubbish pit. And then I dug up this great big ferrous item. Now look at those lovely wavy ridges. And then it's got like all these little parts that there were welds on there. So I'm wondering if this might have been inside a fireplace and had some bars of steel running across and used for, you know, hanging cooking utensils over the fire. It's very heavy, but yes, that is something definitely worth looking into for history. Let's keep going. Oh, there's a couple of mounds here. There's a mound there. Getting some signals which I'm just kind of doing a bit of a look-see at the moment, just to see what type of signals there are. So far it seems to be a very ferrous iron content there, so indicates to me that perhaps it was a dumping ground. But Jay's there digging targets, and we kind of take turns to establish areas that might be ferrous and areas that have got, oh, there's a target here. Just listening to the tones, and we'll start gridding some of those sections separately and getting stuck into a little bit more of the historical type of digging that we like to do with metal detecting. It's just another form of history research and a much more modern way of having a look to see what's underground. Oh, lots of targets here. I'm assuming the kitchen may have been just there. They often had the kitchen away from the house so that the house didn't catch fire. So in those days they often put rubbish in mounds nearby and then buried it and started a new mound as needed. Here's a bit of a target. Bit jumpy, but I think I'll go down and dig it. Okay, well, we've got something round in the hole that dug up. Don't know if it's a coin or anything. It was ringing at 29, so feels like some sort of a weight. I'm not too sure. Oh, I don't want to rub it too hard. It's bits of it peeling apart. It's sort of opening up and cracking. We might hang on to that. It might be a decorative button of sorts. I'll put that in the pouch and have a good look at it later on under a microscope. At home in the workshop. Let's keep going. Just showing Jay what I found in case she can put some light on it. I'm assuming it's a decorative button. There's like a centerpiece there. Might have been a decorative ladies button, and this could have been a wash area. It's very close to the dam. What have you got? I heard you digging over there.
Yeah, I've got
pop mine back in there for safekeeping. There we go. Oopsie daisy.
And I've just found a little button.
Nice. Any writing on it?
I don't think so. I haven't cleaned it up properly.
And where did you find that? In front of the doorway?
In front of the house, yeah.
In front of the house. Yes, I would imagine they might have come up that hill, parked in front of that house, left the horse underneath the shade of the almond tree, gone inside, had a cuppa coffee or cup of tea, you know, warmed their hands by the fire. But have a look at that. I am
Stunning,
just,
isn't it?
wow, just beautiful. Let's keep going and see what else we can find, hey?
Yep.
Well, I had a signal of 98 on the Manticore, and I got the pinpointer on it, and the pinpointer's going off to the edge here. But when I started slowly digging away, I can see a bit of glass there, a bit of a patterned glass. So I'm going to take a little while to dig this out. I don't want to damage anything, so I'll show you once it's nearly out. Yeah, I think I found a dump sign a bit puffed out. All I'm getting down the bottom here is this big chunk of wire that's going right through into that mound. So I'm kind of half tempted to leave it there and deal with it a little bit later when I cool down. I got a bit hot. This decorative piece of glass looks like a decorative piece of bottle or a bowl or something. That was quite interesting, and that's obviously a part of it. So yeah, I'll keep digging and pull that piece of wire out. What have you got?
This is all out of the same hole.
The one hole.
Yeah, I'll end up being a bigger hole.
I wonder what that is.
Was that
I don't know,
on the side of buggies to hold in certain things?
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, on the side of a buggy to hang off the
To
rain
hold
or something like
the
that.
reins in. You know?
Maybe we'll have to do a bit of
in.
research. Oh, you've got a bullet casing.
That's a bullet.
Nice.
Looks like a little 22 of sorts.
Nice little bullet.
Yeah.
Excellent. A little bit of
A little piece of crockery there,
crockery.
and I don't know
What's
what that is.
from? Now we've had them before. Some sort of a, I don't know. I've seen them a million times. Obviously, they either a stainless steel piece or something like that.
And that's just a piece of
square washer.
metal.
They would have used that to tie big rods through and things like that.
Oh, I lost mine. Oh, here it is.
Oh, you lost
Found it.
Found it.
Yeah, so there we go. Out of the one hole, had lots of signals. So I just kept digging. Yeah, and a lot of ferrous stuff, of course.
Yeah, well, we've got to dig all the ferrous when you're doing historical.
This was the target that I was chasing, the copper that came up.
First.
So I started digging, and I found all this other stuff. Then I found that.
Oh wow, the smallest is last.
Yeah.
Well, because we're doing historical metal detecting, we have to dig all the ferrous sounds because obviously they're the sounds that show artifacts like old irons and cooking utensils and buckles and things from old buggies and stuff like that. Well done you. Let's keep going. Oh, Jay's just walked over. What have you got there?
I'm not sure, but it looks like some sort of a
pin.
A pin or a key or
maybe a dog was tied to that.
Shackle, something.
They
looks like there might have been a clip attached to this part.
Dog chain maybe.
Yeah.
They often chain their dogs outside so the dogs would bark in case dingoes came to steal the sheep.
Yeah.
So that could have been it, but great
find.
find.
Could be a bit of chain on there, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry I didn't come over to you. I'm actually digging a hole here. It's ringing at a clear 45, 47 on the Manticore, so I didn't walk over. Your hole's over there where your gear is over there.
Yeah.
a fair distance apart. That's a great find. You're finding a lot of stuff in front of the house there at the front door.
Yeah, there's quite a few signals there. So
I think I've hit the rubbish dump and you've hit the main entrance.
Yeah, oh, see what
That's
happens.
great. Let's do some more.
Keep going.
So I've just been digging over here and I've established that from that house, this must have been the kitchen, this pile of rocks just here. And I do believe that this area here that I have been digging quite a bit in was the vegetable garden. I'm finding a lot of wire, a lot of bits of steel and things like that. So it's either a dumping ground or a vegetable garden. And it seems quite evident that the way the land is contoured, that they might have had swales to slow the water down from the hill so that their vegetables wouldn't get washed away. I've also established that perhaps the main entrance, like I said earlier, would have been from that end as opposed to the back way that I entered. And I think they would have come through here, down along those trees, they would have come up this hill, over to the well, given the horses a drink, tied the horses off onto the tree possibly, and then made their way to the front door. So I'm going to follow along down here and have a bit of a metal detect swing and see if I unearth any evidence to prove that that may be the case. Let's keep going. Well, here we are, another hole. That's the front entrance just over there of this beautiful ruin, and I have got a round object. I am hoping that I will pick it up and it will be a coin. Is it? No, it is not. It is some sort of a button, maybe? It came up as a very round object on the Manticore. It's a button. There you go. It's one of those buttons that's got the little loop at the back. I don't know, maybe Jay, you could give it a bit of a clean and we'll have a bit of a look, give it a bit of a scrape. I'm holding the camera, it's hard to do everything with one hand. What do you think? It's a button I've dug up. One of those ones that's got the little metal loop at the end that you know, folds over the clothing.
Yeah.
Or some sort of a round brooch or something. Have to give it a good clean, but that just rang up absolutely beautifully. Such a clear signal. 55, 56, it just kept ringing beep, beep, beep on the Manticore.
Oh, I don't know, I reckon this
excited.
might have set you off a bit.
Oh, look at that, the old Aussie
Witchetty grub.
Witchetty grub. I wonder if a lot of people might have seen them, perhaps not. That is a witchetty grub. That can actually ruin crops because it eats the roots right down low. We'll be getting rid of that little grub and back to the target. That looks like some sort of a...
I don't know, have to clean it up and have a look later.
Yeah, perfect. Let's go. Keep going. Well, I gave it a little bit of a clean, and yes, I'm quite sure it is a button of sorts. So that's a great looking thing. That's the back of the button. Very nice. Well, Jay's just called me over, so I'll go and have a look. There's something exciting there, no doubt. You're digging over by a very dead tree, so anything's possible. What have you got?
Another witchetty grub.
Oh, another witchetty grub. Oh my gosh. What is that?
A chain of sorts.
What is it? That is an artifact for sure. Is that a piece of steel?
That's the end of it.
Oh, wow. That's some sort of a chain link thing.
Chain and link.
Oh, I wonder if they used to tie something to that tree, like a cow or a dog or...
A person?
No, I don't think they tied people to the tree.
No.
That was a funny thing, but it didn't happen. Got to have a laugh. No offence intended. But look, that is absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I would say...
to see how that cleans up.
Yeah, clean that up for sure in the workshop. And it's right near that tree, that dead tree, which makes me think...
Probably where they tied up the dog or something.
Tied up the dog. That is a big hole too. Pretty much the same shape as that chain that you've dug up.
Yeah.
Great job.
I found this piece and then I found that bit and I thought I'd have to keep following it.
Wow. There's some really beautiful ferrous things in the ground when you start
Really
to
old bit of chain.
dig them up.
Yeah.
History in your hands.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Hey.
Hey Jay, you got anything?
No.
Nothing? No. You're way over there.
I've got a signal, but I can't find it yet.
Keep digging. I'm just over here having a look at this great big well. It's got water in it and there's a frog in there that's super loud, but as soon as I've started speaking, the frog has silenced. Great big almond tree. Wow. Imagine how much work would have gone into digging this by hand back in the old days. It's a lot of work. A lot of stone, a lot of mortar. They really were craftsmen and they really did a great job in this harsh land. Well, here we are, another hole. This time, Jay's dug up a dog registration disc dated June the 30th, 1897. So they were valid from July 1896 to June 30th, 1897. Now, the South Australian Dog Act came into effect in 1864, I think. Was it 64? No, 1884. No, I think it's 1884. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll certainly double check my facts. But look at that. That is a dog tag, and we did find the dog chain. So this just goes to kind of show that, hey, there was a dog on the property, as there often were, and dogs had to be registered. Yes, I think it's 1884 that the Act came into effect. Now, this has got district number 118, which is this zone, and registration number of the dog owners was 42. So the councils back then used to keep the history records of the district numbers and the zones, which are now in the archives in the libraries of South Australia. So that is a marvellous thing to find. So yes, the dog chain was at the tree over there. The dog clip thing was also in that vicinity in front of the house. The house is there, and of course the dog tag is here. So it looks like there was a dog on the property. Very cool. And my next target was like the blade from a plough that obviously has fallen off the plough. So that's a nice artefact to hang on to. We'll take that up to the house and give it a good old photograph shot. Take it from there. Let's keep going. Okay, looks like we've got a nice big shotgun. Winchester New Rival 12 gauge. Wow. Very cool. Oh, that's a bit of history. Done some shooting here. Got another shotgun cartridge remains. Shell casing. Can't see this one just yet. I think it's another Winchester. Yeah, very cool. Oh, Jay's dug up what looks to be like part of a tape measure. You can see some numbers there. Yeah, very interesting. Probably very old school tape measure.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the numbers again.
The numbers go that way.
Do they?
1, 2, 3.
Oh, wow. Oops, I'm probably out of focus there. Interesting. Well, here we go. Looks like another shotgun remnant. Yeah. I guess they would have used shotguns to deter dingoes and all sorts of things, foxes. Just general hunting for food, perhaps. Yeah, in the pouch with that one. Okay, I had a target of 92 odd on the Manticore, and after a big session of digging, we've got something. Not too sure what it is. We often say that, us detecting people, we're not too sure what it is when it's covered in dirt, but that to me looks like some sort of a brooch or a decorative piece. Very nice. Clean that up later and have a better look. Yeah, more than likely a pretty little brooch. Very nice. Look at this, Jay.
What you got?
I was just showing everybody it's a brooch. Jay's just walked over from her side of the mountain.
Wow, that's pretty.
Isn't it? It's got like a little, yeah.
On the top of a doorknob or something,
it's got like a little circle there and a circle there, and I don't know, it might be a brooch or some sort of a cover on something.
Cover over the
Maybe
top of
a door handle
or
or
cupboard handle or something.
Yeah, it was pretty loud at 92.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it feels quite heavy-ish. Maybe
Yeah,
a
it's
little
probably
bit of brass.
brass.
Yeah, I'll keep going and check my hole.
It's lovely.
It's lovely. Very nice. Well, folks, as you can see, metal detecting is hard work. I'm very hot. It's flustered. It's getting a bit warm. It's overcast but quite humid. And we've got to wear long sleeve shirts for sun protection, hats, etc. So even long pants, you know, just to keep yourself safe. So very hot work. And it's just still great fun. You just can't beat it. It's just the most amazing fun. And I'm having lunch right now, and have a look where I am. I'll turn the camera around. So I'm actually sitting in the actual, what was the window. That's the brickwork right there next to my shoulder. I'm sitting in what was the window of this ruin, and I'm looking out to the fields. I can see lots of lovely green pastures out there. Gorgeous. Check out the fireplace one more time. It's just amazing. Absolutely brilliant. Great big chimney up there. I just love these old stone ruins. That was the window I was just sitting in and having my lunch. What great fireplace. Well, everyone, it's been another great day, but it's time to head back to the workshop and do some cleaning up of some of these rusty finds, which are the artifacts to this property. Thank you for joining us. The view has been spectacular, and it's just a beautiful ruin. Absolutely delightful to be here. Once again, it was great, and we found a lot of things which we're going to collate and put together and come back another day and do some more. Just getting a bit too hot now to stay here, so we're going to head off. Well, once again, thanks for joining us. Time to head back to the workshop, unload some of these rusty bits and pieces that we found and some of the other good things that we found, and clean them up, and look forward to coming back again and doing some more at this site. Until then, bye for now.